Good to have you with us. Well, the Ukrainian president is tonight urging EU leaders to agree a massive new loan to Kyiv using frozen Russian assets, 24 hours after Donald Trump hit Moscow with sanctions on its two largest oil firms. The bloc's executive branch has been developing a plan to use those assets as collateral to drum up funds. With most of the assets held in Belgium, it's been wary of using the money without firm guarantees from other EU member states. Well, for the very latest on those talks, let's cross live now to our Europe editor. Armen Georgian is standing by for us in Brussels. Armen, firstly, what is the latest there? Have EU leaders managed to come to any agreement?
No, there is no deal on this very thorny issue of the frozen Russian assets here at the EU summit. Tonight, Belgium has held out right to the end, basically. Just to rewind for a second, Sharon. So what Belgium was demanding was firm legal guarantees that if it lost a lawsuit at some point in the future and had to pay a lot of money, unfreezing these assets was going to be challenged in international courts. If that happened, would other EU member states step up? Would they step into the breach and help? So basically, Belgium wanted to share the risk among the EU member states. And what the other EU member states were offering was basically not enough. Here in Brussels today, Belgium still wants clear legal guarantees, and what the EU summit has decided is basically to go back to the European Commission so that the Commission will basically explore a few legal options, give those options back to the member states. The member states will then rediscuss this whole issue at the December EU Council. So in short, they're kicking the can down the road. So essentially, no deal on the frozen assets, which is probably a great disappointment to President Zelensky, who was here at the EU summit as well, and was very much urging the EU to reach a breakthrough on this issue today, but they haven't.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about Zelensky then. As we say, he made that impassioned plea earlier. What exactly was he hoping to walk away with, actually, to leave Brussels with?
Well, I think the main thing that he would have liked to walk away with was a breakthrough on the frozen assets so that his country could start receiving the first tranche in January of 2026. And he was talking about Ukraine's urgent needs in the press conference, which I attended. But that obviously now is not going to happen before April at the earliest, according to what I'm hearing here. And that's obviously depending on there being a deal in December, which we don't even know if that's going to happen. His main pitch to EU leaders, actually, Sharon, was that Ukraine is ready to do much more together with the EU in terms of joint military production, and also that Ukraine is willing to share its military technology and know-how. So I think the overall sort of sense that Zelensky was trying to give here was that he hadn't come here just to ask for things, just sort of with a hat in hand, please give me more, but actually to offer things that are added value to the European Union, because of course the Ukrainians now have been fighting since 2014, so they have a lot of military expertise. I think the one thing that he has walked away with, in a sense, if you want to talk about a somewhat of a diplomatic win, is the fact that there was this kind of moment of serendipity between the EU and the US, with the US announcement of the sanctions on the Russian oil companies basically falling at the same time as the EU announcing its 19th package of Russia sanctions. So that's something that is obviously good as far as Zelensky is concerned.
Armen, for now, thanks so much. That's our Europe editor, Armen.